the seven archangels and the end of the world. Who are they, and what do they do? Long before Willie Nelson Ray Charles produced their 1984 hit, Seven Spanish Angels, the Holy Bible and scrolls of apocalyptic apocryphal literature refers to the seven angels of God's presence. The Holy Bible refers to the seven angels that, quote, stand before God, and at the end of time, the seven angels will, quote, pour out God's seven bowls of wrath upon earth. So much for that romantic song, Earth Angel. Before we discover the seven archangels, first off, it's important to answer the question, what is an angel? The word angel in Hebrew is, and it means messenger in Greek. The word is angelos, and it also means messenger. So angels are created pure spirits without physical bodies, and they act as intermediaries between Almighty God and the rest of nature. In particular, human persons. Some angels have rebelled against God like Satan, and they have devolved and deformed into what we know as demons. Now, an archangel is just one level above angel. The Bible teaches that there is a divinely ordered hierarchy of angels, and this is often referred to as the ninefold hierarchy, or the nine choirs of angels. This ninefold hierarchy of angels is broken into three triads. So at the very top, the highest triad, you have the seraphim, the cherubim, and the thrones, the middle triad. You have the dominions, the virtues, who are particularly interesting. They are the angels that rule over motion in the orbits of the galaxy and the laws of nature. And then below them are the powers, and then the lowest triad are the principalities in Greek. These are called the archive. This is from Ephesians 3, verse 10. They rule over the nations, and then there's the archangels and the angels, the lowest form of angels. Archangel does not actually appear in the Old Testament. One close rendering of the term archangel, however, is in the book of the prophet Daniel, where he says that the angel Michael is, quote, one of the chief princes of heaven. And the Greek Septuagint, the Greek version, the Old Testament, translates that as the great angel. Now in the New Testament, we do see the word archangel. It appears in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, and also in the Epistle of Jude, where it refers to Saint Michael. Once again now, why are there seven archangels? The mystery of seven archangels comes from the deuterocanonical Book of Tobit, which is found in Roman Catholic Bibles, Greek Orthodox Bibles, Russian Orthodox Bibles, and Ethiopian Orthodox Bibles, but it's not found in Protestant Bibles. And this is because the revolutionary Martin Luther threw out Tobit out of the scriptures. However, if you have an old King James Bible, you will find Tobit in the section marked apocryphal, now in the Book of Tobit, when the angel Raphael reveals himself. So if you are familiar with the story, it's an angel who disguises himself as a human to help a certain family, the family of Tobit. And when he reveals himself, that he's not actually a human, but an angel assisting them. He says, I am Raphael, one of the seven angels, who stand in the glorious presence of the Lord, ready to serve him. That's Tobit 12:15. Now the two other angels mentioned in the Bible are Michael the Archangel and Gabriel the Archangel. The four other names of the other archangels come from apocryphal sources, such as the Book of Enoch and the Apocalypse of Ezra, also known as Fourth Esdras. And I will be talking about them shortly also. In the Old Testament, there's a reference in the prophet Zechariah, and he refers to the seven eyes that explore the whole earth on behalf of God. And almost all Bible scholars associate that idea of the seven eyes that are patrolling the earth for God with these seven archangels who stand in the presence of God now in the New Testament. It gets really exciting. Revelation chapter 8 talks about the seven angels who stand before God and are given seven trumpets. As you know, in the Apocalypse, there is the progression of the seven trumpets, which then leads to the seven plagues. And that's where we see in Revelation chapter 16, I heard a loud voice in the temple saying to the seven angels, go and pour out the seven bowls of the wrath of God onto the earth. So here the seven angels in the book of Revelation at the end of time play a very key role. They're not only the seven eyes looking out upon the earth patrolling earth, but also the seven angels bringing the seven trumpets and the seven plagues, the seven bowls of the wrath of God, incidentally. So who exactly are these seven archangels? Well, first off, a warning: 4 popes have forbidden devotion to angel names. And this is based on the warning of St. Paul in Colossians. Nor St. Paul the Apostle says, let no man seduce you, walking in humility and religion of angels, walking in the things which he hath not seen. You see, in the early church, there were Gnostic groups. And these Gnostics were promoting a form of worship of the angels' secret knowledge from the angels, which brought down the status of Jesus Christ as the unique Son of God and the only mediator between God and man. So Paul was warning against this, and subsequently 4 popes have condemned this extreme devotion or inquiry into naming the angels first off Pope Zachary at the Council of Rome in 745. He said that there should be no tendency towards angel worship, and he condemned obsession with angelic angelology intervention. And names, he said that only 3 angels can be named appropriately by Catholics, and those are the ones mentioned in Scripture. Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael, 3 other popes, also condemned the naming of angels. These would be Pope Leo XII, who died in 1828, Pope Pius VII, who died in 1830, and Pope Gregory XVI, 1832. So those popes in the 1800s are dealing with this problem of naming the angels. However, in Catholic devotion, there has often been tolerated a devotion to a 4th angel, and here we get into some of the more apocryphal and controversial aspects of the 7 archangels. The 4th archangel is usually identified as Uriel, because he is listed in 4th Esdras, or the apocryphal book of the Apocalypse of Esdras, and this work was sometimes included by medieval Catholics in the Catholic Apocrypha because it was seen as edifying for the faithful. When we move into traditions outside of Catholicism, we have full lists of the 7 names. We have a list given in the Book of Enoch, which I've done many videos on. I'd encourage you to see my video on the Book of and the Nephilim. But Enoch lists the 7 archangels, and that same list is essentially found in the Ethiopian tradition, also the Egyptian tradition, and the Greek and Russian Orthodox tradition. So there's a chart you can see on the screen. The Catholic tradition is just Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and I put in brackets Uriel, and you can see all across the board that that's basically the same for the Book of Enoch and the various Orthodox jurisdictions. The only exception being the Egyptian list, which has Uriel as Surreal with the S on the beginning of it. Clearly that's the same name. But when you move into the remaining 3, you can see some identifications, some similarities in Enoch. You have Ragel, Sorakael, and Remyo. You see similar names like Raga Elfanuo and Romeo, and the Ethiopian somewhat different in the Egyptian. And then in the Greek, you have Jagutio, or Jehudio Salathio, which does correspond to the other list, and Barakio. So today, for educational purposes, not for devotional purposes, I'm going to go through these 7 archangels, according to the Catholic tradition of Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and maybe Uriel and the remaining so-called archangels in the Greek Orthodox listing, because that's where there's the most information available. So let's go. Number 1 at the head of the list is always Saint Michael. The name in Hebrew, Michael, means who is like God, and that's because Michael stood up to Satan when Satan rebelled against God. Satan, of course, was once Lucifer, for the high angel, the bearer of light, and he decided to rebel against God and become a god himself. And Saint Michael the archangel says, "How can you do that, who is like God?" And so God changed his name to Michael. You can read about him in the Book of Daniel, the Book of Jude, and of course the Book of the Apocalypse. Second on the list is the Archangel Gabriel, and his name in Hebrew can mean Mighty Man of God, Mighty One of God, Strength of God, and he appears as a message deliverer. You see, with the birth of John the Baptist, Saint Gabriel's involved in that. And then the most important thing, the annunciation of the incarnation of Christ to the Blessed Virgin Mary, that is also accomplished by Saint Gabriel. So his name, Mighty Man of God, may actually relate to the mystery that he announces the incarnation of the Son of God, made man, assuming a full human nature, in the immaculate womb of the Virgin Mary. Third on the list is Raphael, and Rapha means healing, El means God. Raphael is the healing God, and of course he's in the Book of Tobit. He is the Star of Tobit, also in the Catholic tradition, the angel that stirs up the pool where people are healed in the Gospel of John. Although it doesn't say Raphael there, it is associated with the angel Raphaelican. It's a miracle of healing. The 4th angel that appears on all the list is Uriel, and Uriel means the fire of God or the light of God, and he appears in 4th Ezra. There's also a very early tradition in the Church of Uriel, being the angel that protects John the Baptist during the massacre of the Holy Innocents, and Uriel plays a key part in that story. And so Leonardo da Vinci in his Virgin of the Rocks shows the angel Uriel in that painting. So it's one of the examples of Uriel who's not one of the 3 approved angels appearing in Catholic art in the art of Leonardo da Vinci. And besides being known for assisting Saint Elizabeth and hiding him with the infant John the Baptist, Uriel is also associated with the fire of the sun and the fires of hell, since his name literally means fire of God. So far we've gone through the first 4 on the traditional Orthodox list. We got 3 more to go, but I would encourage you, please like this video. It helps in the algorithm, and please do subscribe for more great content like what you're watching right now. Okay, number 5 in the Greek Orthodox list is Salaphio, and his name means communication of God or prayer of God or bidding of God, and he is an angel of communication, and is seen in that tradition as helping present prayers to God. So in this tradition, they see Revelation chapter 8, where there is an angel bringing a golden censer, a thurible, and presenting the prayers of people to God that is identified in the Greek tradition with Salaphio, the sixth angel, is Jehudio, which can mean the glory of God, the praise of God. Some people say it means God is one, but Jehudio is often depicted holding a crown and a three-thonged whip. Why is that? Yehudiel is seen as the angel of justice, and he's also the patron of kings, judges, and all magistrates, and that is the role of the Archangel Jehudio in the Orthodox tradition. And then the last one is Barakio. He's the seventh, and his name means blessing of God, and he oversees, it's interesting, according to their tradition, he oversees all the guardian angels. So it's a Christian belief that every single human, not even just Christians, but every person born or every person conceived is appointed their own guardian angel. So in this tradition, Barakio is the angel who's sort of the general, the boss of all the guardian angels on earth. He's also the patron of children and family life and protects homes. Those are the seven archangels.